Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Maps from itsmaps.com. Maps from Blue Mitzi, Come Up Compilation Ebook, Maps Clothing. This is the continuation. I don't know if to call it video 1 or video 2. The last video that had to do with this was pretty much the introduction to how to start a clothing line. So I guess since that's the introduction, this will probably be like video 1 or so. So first video introduced you guys to what I'm going to be doing in these series of videos that has to do with starting your own clothing line. So for this video here, I guess I'll just jump into it. Let people know started a clothing line named Maps maybe about a couple years ago. First you gotta have the idea, and then after you get the idea, even though your idea may be real big, and you may want to be a multi-million-dollar company or clothing company soon, you gotta start off a little bit small first. So you want people to take you seriously. So after you come up with your idea, and you got your logo and your stuff like that, which is gonna come up in the next next 2 or 3 videos. I'm going to show you guys how I put my logo together. Now, do remind you guys, I'm not a fashion major. Never went to school for fashion. I mess around a little bit with the Adobe Suite system, or the Adobe Suite software. So I do use Adobe slightly to help me get demos done. But for the most part, I came up with a name, which is actually my last name, which is Maps. And I just decided, that'll just be a good, just a good idea, just something I had to be a good idea for a name for a clothing line. So I ran with that. You want people to take you seriously, so the first thing that you really want to do, or the first 2 things you really want to do, first thing would be to incorporate a business. So that's what I went ahead and I did. I incorporated Maps Clothing, and also Maps Hats, Inc. Maps Clothing obviously would probably be more clothing as time comes than just hats, and Maps Hats Inc. obviously is just the hats itself. I know that it'll be a little bit costly to start up a clothing line like it normally would be, or somewhat start for most people, but I'm pretty much gonna walk you guys through how I started this, how I got the demos together, how I came up with the idea, what software I used. And just to let you guys know, I use Microsoft Word. Yes, that's correct. I actually use Microsoft Word to create the demo that you currently see right now on my head, which is this hat. Once again, going back, I wanted people to take me seriously, so I knew for people to take me seriously, I'd have to do 2 things. First thing I would have to do was incorporate a company. If you guys check the other videos on www.itsmaps.com, if you go to business how to, you guys will see how to incorporate a company or a business. I had to incorporate a company for people to take me seriously, so that's the first thing I did. The second thing, which I'll shoot a couple different videos on, will actually be to get your trademark or your copyright done. For the hat, which is a clothing line, I had to get a trademark done. There'll be a totally different video on that, which I'll touch maybe in the next 2 or 3 or 4 videos. But those are probably the first 2 most important things. For those who may not have much money, you may not be able to get the trademark done currently right now, because it's a couple of hundred dollars, depending on how you're doing the trademark. So I'd actually hold off on that, and you guys will see what I do as the time comes, as a little bit more money picks up to get that done. So the first thing that I want to do is pretty much just let you guys know, your first and your most important thing to do is to incorporate your clothing line company. So whatever your name is, which mine was Maps, I incorporated not 1, but I actually did 2, which is Maps Hats Inc. and Maps Clothing Inc. In New York. So you actually can go to the New York State's website and pull that up. In the other video where it shows you how to incorporate, it gives you a step-by-step breakdown and some screenshots. After you do that, you'd want to go ahead and get your EIN number from the IRS website, or give them a phone call and get your EIN number. Once I went ahead and I did that, I knew that how I would be taken a little bit more seriously, because now I have an entity, a business entity that represents my name, my clothing line name. From that point on, now I wanted to get together my designs. And the first design that I came up with was what you currently right now see on my head again, which is this hat, which I figured, I can't do too much right now because we're working on a low budget. So I wanted to get something simple, so I went with this design that you see here, and I figured to keep things real small and real tight, I'd start designing a couple of hats first, and then a few t-shirts, which you probably see me in some past videos in as well. So, mainly focus on the hats, but then do a couple of shirts. So now at this point in time, I sat down and started putting together some demo on paper. Started putting together color schemes, the color of the hats that I wanted, the color of the logo that I wanted, and color of some shirts to match. Originally, when I started up this whole clothing line, I pretty much wanted the hats and the shirts to match each other. So that's the idea that I have. It was kind of like a scheme, like a color scheme thing I wanted. So when people go in, if they like the hats and the shirt, they combine together. They look good. It matches. They'll possibly be like, oh, this is like a matching thing, like a pair thing. They'll go in and they'll buy both items versus just a hat and a t-shirt. So that's what I started off with. Couple more hats than the t-shirts. I started off with a couple of hats, and in the next video, you guys will see how I use the Microsoft Word just to create my logo. I'll also explain in the next video how I did it. I went ahead and I used a font that no one actually today in the clothing business is actually using at all. It may look familiar, may look simple, which it is, but it's actually a font that is not being used currently right now in the clothing industry. So I got to keep that a little bit secret. That's my little secret there. But you guys stay tuned for the next video. Once again, just to recap, I wanted people to take me seriously, so I went ahead and I incorporated, got my EIN number, set up a phone, which was actually a free phone. What you guys can do, you can do a Google phone number and make that your business number. I wanted people to take me seriously, so I went ahead and I did that. I wanted to get my clothing name out there, even though I wasn't fully set up yet, but there's a reason why you guys would want to do that. So I went ahead and I got the phone number, listed the phone number in the 411 directory, sign up for a lot of different things like yellow pages, white pages, hot frocks. When you guys actually go to Google or Yahoo, you can actually Google Maps Hats Inc. or Maps Clothing Inc. and it'll pop up and you guys will see the information. So it looks like I'm running a legit business, even though I'm fully not there yet. But there's a big reason for that. So you guys stay tuned for the next video. I don't want to do the cheap, move the camera around and show you guys it on the computer. So I'm actually going to do a video as well as a screenshot on how I created my demos. I'm also going to go through, after showing you how I did the demos, I'm going to show you guys how I got my demos made, how much I paid to get my demos made, and then from there how I did like a real small and local testing of the hats and t-shirts to see if people if people like it, if people looked at it, if they liked it, if they asked questions, and I'll let you guys know how that goes on in the next 2 or 3 videos. I appreciate you guys watching. As you can see, for those who have been returning, I've been keeping a look on the Google Analytics to see people coming and checking in the site. As you can see, the site has been changing a lot for the last couple of days, or last couple of weeks, going in and out. I'm just trying to get a real good site for you guys to enjoy as far as visually, offer a lot more. So once again, the Come Up Ebook Compilation, top 10 secure credit cards, business credit, personal credit, notary. You guys check that out. It's on the website. Blue Mitzi. Itsmaps.com. Thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate it.